Morning traders, Sasha here with another video. I welcome you from Cancun, Mexico. Today we're talking about AirCanada stock and the rest of them that I'm following at the moment. Cheers. Quick disclaimer that this is just how I see the markets. This is not a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any securities. All right, AirCanada. Well, this is an exciting development on the chart. Again, that was no surprise to us. We knew that this is going to happen at this point of time. 2267 was the area that we were looking for to trade from, and if we look at the past, we know exactly why, because so many bounces happen off that area that it was just inevitable for this to happen. We also have this trend line intersecting with our support area right here at 2267. This is a monthly candle, so it takes a while for that candle to develop. But now when we're looking at the chart and you say to yourself, well, what do I do now? Like, I missed initial move. Financial announcement happened and I did not jump into a trade. I wasn't really sure if it's going to happen, or I didn't see any signals or signs for me to go into trade. Well, this is how we basically deal with this kind of stuff. All right, in technical trading, we get these kind of a huge candles size of this, right? So this one is developing to be exactly the same way, right? So when you get a candle like this, okay, that's the size of it. All right, let's say it developed like that, and you just missed the initial jump into the trade. So your stop loss would go below the candle, your entry would be on top of the candle, and this is all your risk you're taking in order to get into a trade, okay? Regardless if you're investor or if you are just a trader, a swing trader or a long-term trader, however you want to call it. Anyways, this is a huge risk for us to take. Let's say this is let's say $5 candle. Let's say I'm just coming up with an example here. So how do we jump into this trade? Okay, so first of all, we look on the chart and what's going on. This candle here, as you can see, we have this kind of a area that I marked before. This is on a weekly chart, okay? This is on a weekly chart, and this is a consolidation area where market just broke out of there, all right? So when we have this kind of a consolidation area, let's say this was like that consolidation area here, the market just broke out with this candle here, this candle right there, all right? This one, we're talking about this one, the live one. What we can expect here to happen, basically, this consolidation area, the top of the consolidation area, is actually acting as a support. All right, it's acting as a support. This top of this consolidation area is acting as a support right now. We have a major support at 2267, but this is a support that we can look to jump into trade again. So what I'm expecting for this candle here, if you're looking on the long-term trading and you're looking into a monthly chart, basically we're waiting for this candle to close on this chart, okay, to give us a proper direction where the market is heading to. We are waiting for the market to come down. It will come down and it will retest this area here, okay? And then we are waiting for the signal to develop from that area to jump into the trade. Either this top of the consolidation is going to become a support area where the market is going to bounce from or continue on, give us a nice signal, or in case of huge candles here, we usually measure the halfway candle, halfway of the candle, that the market will come down, and usually happens like that. It retests this candle, the strength of the bulls basically, and usually stops at a 50%. When the move happens and when it's very strong like this, like with a huge candle like that, like this one here, okay, market comes down to the 50% of that candle, okay, 50% of that move. That's how we measure it with that Fibonacci element, if you want to add that to it. Okay, so we have 32, we have a 50%, and we have a 61.8% bounce. This is how we measure the moves. Okay, so let's say this was the move, market. So this was the move, market comes down to 50%, usually 50%. Okay, and then that would be the area to look for to give us another signal to jump into trade and the market bounce from there. So two opportunities for you to trade, either on top of the this consolidation area, or 50% bounce of that huge candle that's happening here. Why do we look at it that way? We look at it that way because specific reason. First of all, halfway from here to down here is basically way less risk than taking a risk on a whole candle. Okay, this is why we look for markets to come down to retest this area. So you're basically risking now. If we said this was a $5, you're risking $2.50 now because your stop is right here. Your entry would be right here at 50%, and then we are waiting for the market to give us a signal to jump into trade, and we have a trade into a positive direction. Obviously, it's in a positive direction. We have a bulls coming into play right here. So let's take a look what happens on the weekly charts. And as you can see here right now, exactly what I was explaining a few seconds ago. We have this huge engulfing candle here, okay? That candle on a weekly chart closed above this consolidation area. We know this was a consolidation area because market was going through this area for such a long time, okay? If I take a Fibonacci from here, this is the move right now that we have on a weekly chart, pardon me, on a monthly chart. So we either going to get a bounce right here from 50% and market is going to move on, or as we can see, that's already developing on the chart. This candle here, which is live for this market, is basically showing us that the top of this box or this boxing of this or this consolidation, whatever you want to call it, guys, as long as you understand what that means, you can see that it's sitting right on top of that. Okay, we are waiting for this candle to close and most probably give us another opportunity here to jump in from that area, because now the top of that consolidation is basically acting as a support, and we have three things in play. We have a trend which is to the upside. We have this crossing of the support and trend line, as well as this boxing here, and we are just waiting for the signal to give us another opportunity to jump into trade. Looking at the outlook for AirCanada, I can see that basically that after the signal is developed here at this area, and this proves to us that this is basically another bounce for us, then we can expect for the market to go to $28.78 or $31 as we talked about before, respectively. Okay, so this is the outlook for AirCanada. Jumping into TD Bank, we are looking at the monthly chart. This was a huge resistance area here that was broken out. Market came out with a nice breakout and then did not come down all the way to 79, which is totally fine. 80 area. It's totally fine. It doesn't have to. If we are looking on the monthly chart, we can also see like this candle stopped here. Then we had an inside candle, and then the bottom of this blue candle here. Let me just mark it here. Bottom of this blue candle here, if you can see, acted as a support. All right, it acted as a support. That's why I put this red line here. 81.77 was a newly created support on the monthly chart. This candle came down all the way here because this was a retest of this breakout here on the monthly chart. What happened next? We had another month, which was an inside trading, inside this candle trading. So this candle is basically an inside candle here, okay? It did not break the bottom of this red line here. You can see exactly that the market did not go through it. And then we had this white candle here. The white candle basically where wick is basically penetrated through this support area, 81.77, and I'm pretty sure on a smaller time frame we had a beautiful signal here to jump into the trade, because that confirmed that this is a support area and for us to look for to trade off of. I'm going to jump into smaller time frame just to see what the market is showing us there. So let's go to weekly chart and see if we had some opportunity to trade from that area. And here we go. Right away, so we had this candle, the blue candle that was coming down on the monthly charts. That was this move right here. You can see it created this bottom here. Then we had this is basically an inside bar. Why are you seeing so many candles here? Well, because it's a month broken up into weeks. Each candle is a week. And then we had candle, we had an inside candle, we had a doji which retested this area here. I hope you guys are seeing this. We can see it right here. It's very clear. And this is how you actually measure the markets. Let me take the tool so you can see it better. So this from here to here, we had that candle that created that move to the downside after the breakout. We have one stop here on the weekly chart. We can see the market bounce from here. We had this candle stop in here. Then we had this inside bar. This was then that inside bar on the monthly chart. Okay, and then here we had that third candle, which is which was an entry for us on the monthly chart that did this basically. So the wick broke through this support, and then the market showed us that the bulls are in control, and they moved on. If we check it out now here on the weekly chart, we can see that we had this candle here that retested this area that was created here on the monthly chart. Then we had this pretty much inside bar here, inside this candle here, and then we had this beautiful doji candle. Doji again is telling us that the bulls and bears are in a huge struggle over who's going to take control. And then we finally get this beautiful, amazing signal on a weekly chart that could have dropped you into the trade at 81.77 area. This is an engulfing candle, engulfs the previous candle here, and your entry is on top of the candle. Your stop goes below the candle, even more safer below this 80.08 area. And then your move first target was here at this area there. Okay, and then we had the breakout again, and the market moved on. Okay, so that's how you analyze the market. We had the trend, we had a breakout, market broke out, pulled back, created that support area. We got the beautiful signal. I'm always showing the pin bar, which is easier to draw, and then we had this move from that area. First target, the previous high, and then we are moving on. What's going to happen? Well, basically, it's going to happen that the market is going to retest this again high that was created. This is going to become a support, and we might get another signal here for you to jump into trade, and we move on. This is a TD Bank on the weekly chart. This is what I'm seeing at the moment. Let's drill down even more to a daily chart. If you did not understand what I was saying up until now, let me just put another horizontal line here and mark this area here. This was the high. This was the highest high that was created here previously. All right. So let's see what happened here in this area on a daily chart. And guess what? Guess what? Okay, so the market breaks out. This is a breakout, guys. Above this area, I marked that on a weekly chart, and you can see it. It's right there. And what do we have here? Well, let's continue on. Again, the same thing over and over again. We have a breakout, we have a pullback, we have an extension. Okay, so basically, this candle here broke out, closed the price above. Okay, this is on a daily chart. Then we had this candle here. Let me just clean this so you can see it better. Okay, so then we had this inside bar. This candle created high and created a low. Then we had an inside bar, an inside bar. You can see. Do we see it? Okay. And then bottom of this candle here was retested with this candle here, the final one. Okay, this final pin bar also retested that area that we marked on a weekly chart, the highest high. Okay, so this support was retested, and look at this beautiful signal for you to continue on into positive. This is a pin bar, basically rejecting the area here, rejecting the bottom of this candle here. It happened inside of this whole consolidation. Your entry right here, your stop goes below the candle, and look at the move. Okay, from 90 to now you're sitting at 92.22 at the moment. This is how you measure the markets. Candles are telling you the whole story. If you have a little bit of patience to read them and a little bit of patience to wait for the signals to develop. Again, we had a move to the upside. We had a support which was created with this candle and also with the breakout right here. Okay, and then we have this final thing, which is a signal to jump into trade. Simple as that. You have nothing else to think about. Okay, that's how it's done every single time. Let's look at the Royal Bank here. Okay, so we had a market that created this high here. So this is the high. So we have this beautiful. We had a candle here that was retesting this 125.18. Then we had another bigger candle, and then we had this beautiful engulfing candle, just showing that this area here of support is very significant. Look how many times the market broke, pardon me, tried to break below there, and it did not happen. Look how many times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attempts, then 8, 9 attempts, until we finally, well, most recently got this beautiful signal, this pin bar that moved the market to the upside. Now we are sitting here at this 134.08 area. At the moment, what we are seeing here on the chart is these two areas. Okay, so we have the highest high, which is 134.21. We also have the resistance area, huge resistance area right now developed at 133.33. And why do we say that? Well, first of all, take a look where the price is stopping. Price stopped once here, price stopped right here, and then we have a candle that was trying to break through that price area that market was trying to move through, was not able to. So that's 1, 2 resistance areas. 3, this is the fourth time we are coming to this area after dropping down. Okay, this is a little fake out from not being able to break out from that area. And now, most recently, last few days, to be precise, so today is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So on Friday, we had this candle here that tested it right to the exact point, 133.33. So what we are expecting for the market to do, or what I'm expecting for the market to do, we do have a trend which is in the upside. I'm waiting for the market to break out of this area, pull back, retest this now. Resistance is going to turn into support if the market is strong enough to break out, and I would wait for the signal to develop at this area, and so we can move on into the positive. Another opportunity can happen here, and as we can see here, the market was doing this. Okay, we can expect for the market to come down again to this 125.18 area, retest, and give us a better opportunity to jump in from there. And we have way more, about $8 opportunity to grab from this consolidation area. This is a consolidation area basically that we are looking at. This is on a daily chart. Our risk reward ratio would be way less on a daily chart if we were to jump in on signals like this, okay, or signals like this, than jumping on a monthly chart just to see what's going to happen in this consolidation area here. So that's how I see Royal Bank at the moment. We are jumping into BMO, or Bank of Montreal at the moment. We're looking at the monthly chart here, and as we can see, this was a very interesting area for us to look at. Not that much on a monthly chart, but on a weekly chart, I think I was looking at the weekly chart when I draw these lines, and most probably happened that way. Yeah, and there we go. Now we have this. So we had market moving out. We had this beautiful inside this bar, and here then we had an inside bar, beautiful pin bar that retested this bottom of the bar, as well as this support here, and then the market just moved on, came down here. So we have, what do we have right now in this area there? Let me just take a look. If I mark this area at the top, okay, this is the highest high that was developed fairly recently. I'm gonna drill down to one day chart, and then yeah, take a look what happens here basically. So this is the top of that resistance that I marked. Okay, so we can see the market came out here, came down, retested area. So let's do this. So we had a market move out, retested this area once, retested it twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then it moved and made this higher high, which is at 132.35. Okay, then we had a breakout with this beautiful candle right here. We had an inside bar, which is right here, and retesting this support, and then we had this candle that moved you into the trade, and the market moved on. Now what we have here and what we are looking at, let me just enlarge this picture here for you. Okay, so we have this area here. I'm just going to move this line here. Okay, we have this area here where the market stopped, made the highest high. Okay, we can see that this candle came exactly to that point, was not able to break out, and then we had a breakout. This is a breakout candle, guys. This is a breakout candle. This is a retest here. We are waiting for a signal to develop to this area here on a daily or our 4-hour chart to jump in. Let's see on the 4 hours what happened. And there we go. There we go. We had a beautiful breakout here. This is your entry here. This is a pin bar, beautiful pin bar, which also broke the top of the previous candle, and the market is moving on into a positive. Overall, BMO still very bullish. We are looking at the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. We had this beautiful area that was huge resistance. Market broke out, and now we are in this kind of a little consolidation happening this on a monthly chart. Okay, so let's move to weekly charts and see what's happening there, so we can maybe mark some areas there for us. And of course, we have some stuff to mark. So this is the highest high. This is the highest high that the market created. Let's take a look at here. Okay, this was the highest high, and look, guys, what's happening at this on this chart. Okay, so highest high, market comes down. We have the support. Look how many times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times market retested this 141 area. Okay, finally bounced off their area after this beautiful pin bar, retesting it. If you didn't take that, well, that's fine, but we can see this higher high, and we can see now the candle exactly to the point touched that higher high. So now what do you see on the market? Well, we have a bullish move. We know we are in the uptrend. We are also seeing that this is this area is becoming a very significant resistance area, 152 area. We have one rejection of that area, second rejection of that area. Okay, so now what we have to wait for is for the market either come down here to this 141 like this, okay, retest this area again and give us a signal from there to move to the top of this or 152.87 area, or we can wait for the market to break out, pull back, retest this 152.87 area and give us a signal from there to move into positive again. So this is how I see the markets today. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I hope you're learning stuff with me. Once again, this is not an advice for anybody to buy, sell, or hold any securities. This is just the way I see the markets. I'm just here for education purposes only. And you can see all these examples that I keep showing you over and over. This is how the market constantly repeats itself. It's driven by people and driven by greed and money and supply and demand, and it's always happening the same way. Take care, and this is Sasha. Peace out. Talk to you soon.